Do you know about the Planetary Parade that is happening this weekend, the 28th of February and the 1st of March? I call it a show. It's been called a Planetary Parade. And 6 planets are going to line up and we may be able to see them all together, depending on the weather. And I think this is really exciting on many levels. It's exciting for astronomers when this happens. And it's exciting for those of us who are into the spiritual and intuitive side, the otherworldly side of life. So if you want to know about what it means in terms of astronomy, there's a link below this video to a BBC website that will tell you about that in more detail. But I wanted to focus on the spiritual aspects because it feels like there's a message or guidance here for us if we want to see it. So the 6 planets that are lining up are Mercury. Now this is interesting because Mercury, just on the 26th of February, started the first of 3 apparent retrograde motions of the year. It's going on till the 20th of March, so it's just started. Now, it used to be called the retrograde motion of Mercury, but it's not actually going backwards. It just looks like it from Earth, and it's to do with the speed of the planets that change every so often. It looks like Mercury's going in a reverse position, but it isn't. It's still going forward. It's just perception. And I always feel that when this apparent retrograde motion of Mercury happens, it's a reminder to us humans to slow down, to take things steadier, and to pay more attention. And also to remember that what we see is not always what's actually happening. So Mercury is the first one in the planetary parade. Then we have Venus, my birth sign. Beauty, love, harmony. There is Saturn, often known as the Lord of Karma, because he is about responsibility and discipline are some of the things that are associated with Saturn. And when we take responsibility, that's when we can have spiritual growth, because karma is never about punishment, remember. Karma is the opportunity to do something differently, to respond differently, to behave differently. And that's what makes karma karma. We have Jupiter, growth, abundance, wisdom associated with Jupiter. And with Uranus, innovation, liberation, a little bit of disruption as well. Things sometimes have to be disrupted for innovation. Things have to be disrupted to create the highest good for all. And Neptune, about dreams, compassion, mysticism and spirituality. And of course, there's us here on the ground. Our ground, Earth. And we have the moon in all of this as well, and the moon is nearly full. The full moon's happening Tuesday, the 3rd of March. So this feels like a lot of planetary information coming to us. So I think this is a reminder to us that everything exists in the here and now and all at once and all at the same time. It's the idea of the acacia, isn't it? There is a field that exists where everything that has ever been, ever is, and ever will be exists in this dimension that we can tap into if we want to. And all these planetary aspects, all these planets have these symbolisms associated with them. And they're all relevant all the time. So we're living in a time of extremes, aren't we, where we have the extreme of the divine and people who are working in the light for the highest good. And they're not necessarily spiritual people, they're just working for the benefit of all, as well as being spiritual. And then there's the other end where this extreme attachment and rigidity and toxicity that you've got to be like me and we don't tolerate people or things that are different to us and you have to bend to our will. And I think that's what the planets are representing in this parade, that everything exists all at once, and we as humans going through this experience have to navigate our way through that. And how do we do that? Well, first of all, it's understanding, isn't it? We understand that this is what's happening, and we come from a place of acceptance. But what does the universe really want us to know about these planetary aspects? We'll find out because I did a little reading, so watch on for a bit more. As you've just seen, I've been showing you images from an oracle. This is Celestial Oracle deck. It's available on the website. if you're interested, I'll put the link so you can go have a look at it. So I've just asked the universe 3 questions. First of all, what is the message the universe is sending to us with the Planetary Parade? Whirlpool galaxy, a starborn vortex. So what hit me was the whirlpool, because, oh my goodness, if there's a word to describe the times that we're living in, it is a whirlpool, isn't it? You know, people get drawn into all sorts of stuff. Everybody has their own agenda. You know, finding truth and fact and feeling what's real for you is really hard in this day and age. And it's, you know, it's the point in history where this is the first time so much information has been available to so many people. And it's a whirlpool. So what's the message? We're living in a whirlpool, and accept it. This is just what it is at this time. So once we get to that acceptance, we start to feel a bit more peaceful. But obviously, I wanted to know more. So I asked, how do we stay balanced, grounded, and divine in the whirlpool? And the message was solar eclipse. And I love this. Do you know why? This is saying the whirlpool is going to pass. The whirlpool is not forever. Eclipse is soulless, cosmic veil. There is a veil in the world at the moment that everybody thinks they can do what they want without any consequences to them, without any responsibility. This idea of, you know, I can say what I have to say regardless if it's hateful, regardless of if it's compassionate. This sense of anybody can do anything. And what this message is telling us is, like a solar eclipse, this is going to pass, and this cosmic veil is going to pass through. And there will, if you believe in karma as I do, there will be karmic lessons for people. Now, I didn't ask how long, and if you're wondering how long, I'm not going there, because the universe could give us an answer at this time, but because as humans, people, you know, use their free will to do things, that could change. But rest in the knowledge that this is going to pass. This is going to pass, and there will come more peaceful times. So the whirlpool is what's happening external to us, but internally we keep ourselves grounded, balanced, and divine by knowing that this is an eclipse and it will pass through. So then I asked, what action do we need to take as individuals, if any? And I love this, sacred rebel. I love this phrase, sacred rebel. So what action do we need to take? This is a time for visionaries. This is a time for those of us who work in the light and for the highest good of the collective, to start to speak up, to start to be known, and be a sacred rebel. And I love this. You know, we've got the Aquarius sign here. It's pouring water on troubled waters. Pouring water to soothe troubled waters. You get the gist of what I mean. We're pouring water to put out the fires. We're pouring water into the whirlpool to kind of fill up the whirlpool so it stops whirling, which is strange, but that's what's just come to me. So this idea of sacred rebel. A sacred rebel isn't about creating deliberate conflict, which others do. It isn't about creating deliberate frustrations. It isn't about being like everyone else. It isn't trying to match the toxicity of what's happening in the world. It's staying balanced and grounded. We know this will pass through. And being a sacred rebel these days, that is enough. That is enough. If you can do that, stay balanced and grounded, not get drawn into the rhetoric, not get drawn into the toxicity, not get drawn into all those things that frighten us and sadden us. If you stay grounded and balanced and divine, knowing that this will pass, that is being enough of a sacred rebel. And if there are enough of us around the planet doing that, that's when things start to change. So in summary, the message from the universe is about the Planetary Parade. We're living in a whirlpool. It's just how it is right now. We have to accept it. How do we stay balanced, grounded, and divine in the whirlpool? We know this will pass like a solar eclipse. We know this will pass. It's just a veil that we're living through. And what action do we take, if any? We be sacred rebels, and we stay divine, balanced, and grounded. And that's been enough of a rebel. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that has ignited something in you and resonated something for you, or created something inspiring in you. If it has, let me know. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.